Two quick rules of thumb before I get started. I don't intend to bore you, but I do remember one of my electrical engineering professors, every time I walked in late, very relevant in the context of having our friends at REC here. The two things he said was, you're too, and this is when I used to walk in late, you're too early for the next class, right? And the second rule of thumb was that never stand on the sides because you will get asked a question. So invariably, all of us ended up in the front bench. So I please request you, feel free to occupy the chairs in the back and make yourselves comfortable. So let me walk you through the program, but before that, a quick story of sorts. And prior to that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the academicians, the innovators in the room, potentially a few entrepreneurs, the T-Hub team, the REC team. Thank you so much for being here. And last but not least, there are at least 3 people in this room that I know flew in at 3 in the morning. So thank you so much to Mr. Jay, Srinivas, and the Honorable Minister for taking the time out to be here and be part of us. So let me jump right into what is the fundamental difference between an innovator and an entrepreneur. A lot of things that we do at T-Hub has been centered around entrepreneurship, right? But in the context of innovation, it is key to understand that not all things innovative will turn into entrepreneurship, and not all things in entrepreneurship is truly innovative. But today we live in times where, fortunately in India, we have now entrepreneurs have access to capital, they have great access to a fantastic ecosystem driven by players like us. They live in states like Telangana, which is leading the way as far as creating policies for scaling up businesses are concerned. The one thing that's missing in the whole recipe is bottom-up thinking, design thinking, and innovative thinking. And potentially if that starts from academia, nothing like it. So to drill down the differences between the two, entrepreneurship and innovation, what I thought is I'll quickly walk you through 4 bullet points that differentiates a fantastic company called Tesla. You know, like most people understand and believe, it's truly an innovative company. But what allows true innovation to scale and become a company is the fact that you need to innovate your business models. But to innovate your business models, you need to understand what are the things that need to change. So in the case of Tesla, the first thing that they did was to realize that the true IP and innovation is in the battery. That the battery technology is what allows them to do what they do. The vehicle around it and and to fast forward to now, the wall batteries that are in the house are just fantastic distribution models. So if you now look at how they started way back in 2006-07 with this beautiful piece of IP and built a phenomenal company, the 4 things that they looked at were a distribution strategy. How do you get to play in the automotive space compared to the other big, large players? Just to give you an example, the top 3 out of the top 10 advertisers in the US are automotive companies. Any wild guess how much Tesla spends on advertisement, promotions, marketing? It's a negligible point. It's a decimal point. So contrary to the top 3, these guys don't spend money. The second one is your business model to generate free cash flow. To give you another example, in 2016, Tesla went ahead and made pre-order bookings through their website, so no dealers, to the tune of 300,000 orders. And they had to pay a deposit of $1,000 each. You take that to in the context of how automotives work in general in the US, on average, the average discount given by sedans in the luxury segment and higher is about $3,000. So if I'm a distributor, I get the vehicle, I discount it by $3,000 to make sure that the customer who walked in goes out with a car. But in this case, in Tesla's case, there was a $1,000 deposit made upfront. So you take 325,000 people, multiply that by $1,000. That's $3 million of free cash flow to a guaranteed customer. Now, this is a fundamentally different business model. The third thing is what's called cannibalization. So here's a great company in a space that's using electricity. So what it does is, on average, vehicles in the US fly for about 10,000 to 12,000 miles a year. So take into account about $25 worth of expenditure on petrol/gas, and then about $1,000 or $25 per miles per gallon. You're looking at $1,000 multiplied by 350, so that's 250. Sorry, so that's about $100 million worth of petroleum revenue that has been cannibalized by this company. Now, all these are elements of a true innovative business model. Now, the reason I mention these 2 points is that what we want to do as an ecosystem player is that we have this fantastic incubator. We have a super supportive government that not only acts as a policymaker, but as a customer, and some of our startups have been beneficiaries of that. The second is the innovation programs that we run, which draw startups from outside. But the one thing that were missing till today, and thank you to Mr. Ramesh and his team for making that happen, is the capability to drive innovation from the bottom up. The minute we bring that to institutes and potentially through the colleges and the academicians that we have here, the merging of the innovative idea vis-a-vis a fundamental business model can transform the landscape of early stage, young, idea-based entrepreneurs are coming out of schools. And that's what we hope to do through this program. I'll have Mr. Ramesh come on board and talk a little bit about his vision and what he hopes to see through this program. But this gives you a sense of how we will engage with 30 institutes that we've picked with the government's support in Telangana and in AP. And we'll be teaching about, we'll be taking our innovation playbooks, launching them on the ground level, and potentially impact 1,800 students over the course of the next year. And the top 3 students will be cherry-picked to go through a very substantive program within T-Hub. So that gives you a very high-level idea. But without further ado, thank you so much again for being here, for being part of this wonderful journey, and we look forward to engaging with you. Thanks a lot, and welcome to T-Hub. Thank you.